Hello, I'm Mitra Sorrells in the PhocusWire studio, and I am joined by Laurie Gablehouse. She is Head of Global Travel Solutions at Worldline. Welcome.
Thank you, Mitra.
So let's talk a bit. Worldline, I know, provides global solutions. What does being global really mean in that context?
Well, I think it means getting your head around something other than what you're used to from where you grew up or what you're locally thinking of in terms of acceptance for payments. In North America, that tends to be credit cards. So we think around 16 digits, and we don't really understand much beyond that except maybe PayPal as a wallet. So I do think if you're looking to accept payments from customers outside of the US, you have to start looking at bank transfers, installment options, other types of wallets.
Yeah.
So there are other payment instruments, I will call it, or payment choices that should be part of your strategy.
Okay. And what about, something that we have heard quite a bit about, especially in the last couple of years through the pandemic, is bleisure, or this, people combining a little bit of business, a little bit of leisure. And there seems to be a sense that that's here to stay. When people are doing business trips, they might be tacking on. Is there kind of a similar concept in payments?
I think there is. I think you have to, again, consider that the business traveler, how they're paying for their business versus how they're paying for their personal trip, right? Those could be two different things. And there's some movement towards understanding how to split that a little bit better and moving towards processes that support that better.
Yeah, that would be nice, I guess.
Well,
make it all very seamless.
Well, and I think if you think of the basic family, if somebody's going on a trip somewhere and they're like, well, we'd like to tag along, because I think this also came out of the pandemic of, you're going where? And can we join? And how do we join? And you're like, well, I don't know. Can I get an adjoining room? Can I, how do you then combine those choices into a single booking, which is very hard. Not all hotels support that well when you have different forms of payment and different payment options for that. So it does get a bit challenging from a booking perspective, and then also your payment that needs to follow that.
Okay. And what about local payment methods? Why would that be something important for companies to have on their radar in addition to traditional payment methods?
Well, I think if you can think about it even from the perspective of the Chinese traveler. Like, when they want to pay, they're probably wanting to scan a QR code. Do you even have one?
Right.
Have you even thought of that when they walk up and they're ready to check out or to buy something from your store? Do you have a QR code for them to use? And then behind that, is that their walleted Alipay, or what is behind that payment that they want to use? So I do think we forget about where these customers are coming from, that where they made their original booking probably accepted that form of payment, but then they got to their destination and all of a sudden they can't find it.
Right.
So to the degree that you can be a bit more consistent in that offering and ensure that from both ends of this, you're helping them in terms of their experience, their payment experience, get to give you their money in the most seamless way possible.
Right. Removing that friction to
making it less confusing for them.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So I guess my final question I would ask is, how would you suggest that travel companies address some of this? Because it does sound like it can be a bit complex and there's a lot of different elements to it.
Well, it can be. And I think it's number one critical that you organize yourself as a company to have the right stakeholders involved in the decision making, that it shouldn't just be a decision by Treasury, shouldn't just be a decision by your marketing team. Technology needs to be at the table along with the people driving the revenue and the people paying the invoice. Right. And if you have those three at the table, then you'll make better decisions about your roadmap and what pain points you're trying to solve.
Okay. All right. Laurie Gablehouse from Worldline. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mitra.
All right. Bye-bye.